Hey everybody, welcome to Legends of 40K. Up on the block in this video is a Space Wolf special character. We're going to talk about Bjorn the Fell-Handed, or Bjorn, or however you want to pronounce his name. A special character HQ and a Dreadnought, so that's pretty cool, pretty unique. They used to have a model for him. They've removed that model a while ago, I believe. I don't know exactly when. And they never replaced it, which is unfortunate. It was kind of a cool looking Dreadnought model. Now you can, of course, convert them up with all the plastic Dreadnought kits available to you, but it's a little bit unfortunate to see that they didn't remake them. So yeah, let's jump right into him. He's 270 points. That gives you a weapon skill of 6, ballistic skill of 6, strength of 7, front armor of 13, side armor of 12, rear armor of 10, initiative of 3, 4 attacks. Its unit composition is 1 Venerable Dreadnought, and it's unique. His unit type is Vehicle, Walker. He has an Assault Cannon, Dreadnought Close Combat Weapon with built-in Heavy Flamer, Wolf Tail Talisman, Smoke Launchers, Saga of Majesty. Wolf Tail Talisman nullifies a Psychic Power on a 5+, that targets him. And what's it called? The Saga of Majesty, there we go. Units within 6 inches of him can reroll failed morale tests. He can replace his assault cannon with a plasma cannon for free, or a twin length last cannon for 20 points, so I would say make that arm magnetized or something. It is nice to see he has some options here to make him more versatile. He has special rules: Venerable, Ancient Tactician, Ward of the Primarch, and Living Relic. Ancient Tactician means you can reroll the dice to see who goes first. It says who picks the opponent zones first in the codex. They errata that to say see who goes first, and then they add in after you see what your opponent rolls. I normally do a roll off anyway, so I never had a problem with that. But it is cool that lets you reroll that. Ward of the Primarch has a 5+ invulnerable saving throw against glancing or penetrating hits inflicted upon him, so that's pretty cool, on top of being venerable, which is always nice. And he's a living relic, so if he suffers any destroy result, you leave the model in place. From that point on, all Space Wolves become fearless for the rest of the game. If the mission uses objectives, Bjorn remains are counted as an additional objective. If the mission uses kill points, the Space Wolf player forfeits an extra D3 kill points unless he has a model in contact with Bjorn at the end of the game. So that's a pretty cool rule as well. Makes it you have to be a little bit more careful with them, and being a little bit more careful with these special characters is always fun. Let's see. So that's it for the special character. Now, what do I think needs an improvement, if anything? Well, this is the case. I feel that the point costs are high. As far as is he worth the 270 points, I honestly don't know, because I don't play Space Wolves, and I haven't really seen him played, but I can say from experience that I have not seen Bjorn the Fell-Handed being fielded locally. To put it in perspective, Logan Grimnar is 5 more points than Bjorn. Bjorn is 270, Logan Grimnar is 275. So if you're going to shell out that point cost, I imagine a lot of people will just shell the extra 5 to get Logan Grimnar. Now, that being said, with Bjorn, I don't think he's that overly point costly, because a Venerable Dreadnought base is 165 points in the Elite section. You can give it stuff to make it like Bjorn, but not quite like it. It doesn't have the weapon skill or ballistic skill. It's only 5 for that. Its strength is only 6. It only has 2 attack space, but initiative of 4. It's a bit of a trade-off, but I feel that overall he's not overly point costed for what you get for him. But he's at the bare. I think he's just at the tolerable level for me. That I don't feel he's that overpriced, but I do think he's a little bit pricey. Especially because you notice I did not mention at one point that he has extra armor, because he doesn't. That doesn't make a lick of sense to me. Their Iron Priests, which are the Tech Marines, really messed up on that one there. He's been around since the Great Crusade. He walked in the footsteps of Limon Russ. I don't know if he's ever seen the Emperor, but he was around when the Emperor was walking around and all badass looking in his armor. he is the oldest Dreadnought in existence. The oldest Space Marine still in service in existence, pretty much. So, why oh why does he not have extra armor? I guess they felt balance issues. He was fine having the Venerable and the 5+ invuln save, and to a certain degree that's true, but I feel the extra armor would have been fine. I don't think it would have. I think for what the amount you pay for him, he should have extra armor. That's just my opinion. The Initiative 3 isn't that big of a deal, so he goes after Space Marines to go. The only thing that could hurt him that can go at initiative really from Space Marines are Melt Bombs, which need a 6 to be planted on him. And really, nothing that can hurt him for the most part goes at initiative. Usually go at initiative 1, so he's still going before the Power Fist and the Thunder Hammers and all that jazz, but not that big of a deal there. But really, the extra armor is what irks me the most. There's no reason he shouldn't have extra armor. But, whatever, I guess. Now, one thing I would not do is give him a last cannon unless you're playing in a bigger point match where you have the extra points to spare. And if you have extra 20 points, you could probably use it somewhere else. So, I personally would not give him a last cannon. What I would give him is the plasma cannon. It's free. It's got a bigger range than the assault cannon, and I think personally it makes better use of his ballistic skill. He has a high ballistic skill. Pretty much when he shoots up that blast template, he's negating a full 6-sided die of scatter. You roll 2d6 minus his ballistic skill, which is 6. So basically you're rolling 1d6 on the scatter die. You're going to be hitting pretty much what he shoots at for the most part. It's higher strength, lower AP. You don't need to rely on rending to eat through armor from guys who are not in cover. It can't rend its way through a land raider like an assault cannon has a small chance to do, but it can do well enough on its own. I think the plasma cannon is worth seriously considering when you take him, if you take him as an HQ. So how would you use him? Or how would I use him? I've given this some thought because I do have accounts as of him in Iron Hands colors, because I do like the Iron Hands, and would, I guess, when I get a little more, time to make a small detachment of Iron Hands using this codex. But anyway, how I would use him is one of two ways. Either supporting my line somewhere to really bolster its shooting, if I'm doing a little bit of line shooting, but always with an Iron Priest, which is the Tech Marine with some Servitors behind him. And what I would do is, if I'm going to push somewhere with my force, push forward, have him kind of leading that with the rest of the army pushing forward off to either flank, depending where he's pushing. The Iron Priest would have a Razorback. Now they can't take that normally. They can't take a transport, an Iron Priest, but I would sacrifice another unit's transport to be his personal ride, so to speak. I'd make it a Razorback. Whatever weapon type doesn't really matter. Depends on the points of the game and what my army list is. But basically, let him ride in a Razorback behind Bjorn, essentially always pretty much right there, so he can pop out and repair Bjorn at a moment's notice to keep him shooting or keep him moving. So what's the second way? Well, the second way would be essentially the same, but with 2 Dreadnoughts flanking him on top of the rest of the army. Why? It's a little bit more points heavy, yes. But the reason I would do that is because Bjorn is going to generate a lot of heat, meaning the enemy is going to probably deviate a lot of their heavy weapons to kill Bjorn. He's your HQ, a special character, and a point sink. So, chances are they're going to bring their anti-tank weaponry to bear on him before they bring it to bear on some of your other vehicles that you may or may not have. So, that being said, field 2 more Dreadnoughts, have 3 Dreadnoughts on the field. The 2 flanking him, I would give twin-link glass cannons, and they would have extra armor. Why would I do this? Well, Bjorn is a big badass Dreadnought, yes. But Dreadnoughts with twin-link glass cannons are always a high priority target. They are Dreadnoughts that can just reach out and touch the enemy tanks. So that would kind of alleviate some of the stress that Bjorn would be under from the enemy shooting. So that's why I would do it that way. But overall, I think Bjorn is a good special character in terms of what you get. I think he's barely tolerable in terms of point cost, and the lack of extra armor really hurts him. I think, could he afford to be a bit cheaper? I honestly do think so. A little bit, not a lot cheaper, but a little bit. Being only 5 points under Logan Grimnar, who's got a pretty impressive stat line and special rule setup, does not really help his chances for being used. And I do feel it's a bit of a shame. Now, there are plenty of people out there, I've seen models, plenty of Bjorn the Fell-Handed models. So I can only assume he's being used. But I haven't seen any locally. So yeah, that's Bjorn the Fell-Handed. If you want to have a little bit more of a unique HQ, I would suggest giving him a look-see if you play Space Wolves. Because there's no other real special character Dreadnought anymore. Moriar is gone. So Bjorn is pretty much the only special character named Dreadnought in existence right now that I can think of off the top of my head. So it makes your army, it's a little bit of a unique factor coming to your army. Unfortunately, it's for Space Wolves only, obviously. That's not the unfortunate part, but there's so many more, or other impressive type of special characters within that points area that I think Bjorn is not going to be taken as much. But he's definitely worth a check out if you want something different from your standard Marine and Power Armor, Artificer Armor, or Terminator Armor, or in this case, Runic Armor. But, yeah, pretty cool. Again, a nice thing about having a vehicle HQ is the fact that it negates small arms fire. Like Logan Grimnar could. I mean, it takes a lot of shooting for this to happen, but could be brought down by las guns. It happens all the time to Terminators. So Bjorn cannot be. In fact, you need strength 7 or higher to even start hurting Bjorn on the front armor. So that is, and the trade-off is, of course, that one lucky shot could kill him. Now with Venerable, that really reduces the chance of that happening, but it still can happen. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Bjorn the Fell-Handed. Like I said, I would suggest giving him a try if you're a Space Wolf player. He's a bit slow. He can only really move 6 inches, but the nice thing is he can always move and gun. He can run and gun unless you actually run in the shooting phase. So he can't actually run and gun. Don't confuse me there. It's just a saying. He can move and shoot. And that's always nice too. So anyway, that's it for Bjorn the Fell-Handed. Don't know what special character I'm going to do next. I'm going to look around and see. But until next time, whatever video that may be, take it easy.